Welcome everybody back to Lands of Lazrikaan. Maybe we get sort of like the title shot following, a hawk, and it's flying through the air, and we see it go above, flying high above the walls of Pothil, and we see it, going over the city, the tableau, and then as it flies over the estate, the Cromwell estate, it flies up and under the logo Lands of Lazrikaan. Um, and you guys have and it kind of comes back to the camera breaks away and comes back to where's everybody at? Is everybody together, or are you guys in separate places around the building, around the estate? Where is everybody?
Last time we did some shopping.
I believe you had done a
So,
little shopping.
yeah, so I'm trying to remember what we were doing afterwards, if we were doing anything.
I think Avaria would be. She's by herself. Like, she has a lot to think about.
Okay.
If we're still because we're still at the Baroness's castle, right?
Nope, you're at Callahan's estate, family's estate.
That's right. So,
Because you had to come back
yes,
here for Saren.
I think I'm the
That's
only
right.
one
So-
who's at the castle.
Yeah.
yes. So let me rephrase that then. No, she still would be by herself. I think Callahan should go first, and I will bounce off it or what he does.
Of course you will.
Callahan, it is your estate. Where is Callahan, and what is he doing?
He's probably just taking the day to rest. So if it's like lunchtime, he's at lunch. If it's between meals, he's probably just in the study or something. Probably reading some stupid military book. Studying the tactics of so and so and so and so.
The tactics of the first king of Lazrikaan when he beat back the hordes of the end of Vestia or something.
Yeah,
That would seem appropriate. Yeah. Okay.
He's
I
reading
think-
a joke military book written by someone called Pun Su.
Oh boy.
Very good.
Yeah. So Avaria would walk into that library thinking it is empty, just to kind of spend some time by herself, and see Callahan sitting there, and then she would just be very embarrassed because she is really upset about how everything went down last time, like with the fight. And she's like, I didn't know anybody would be in here. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your reading time. And she's like, is it okay if is it okay if I sit somewhere in here?
yeah. He'll look over and he's like, "Your presence is not an interruption at all. Please
Okay,
take a seat."
thanks. And then she'll just like kind of find like a corner like opposite of where you are, and just grab a random book, probably Punsu, and started to read.
Good.
But she's not really
It's
reading.
become a
She doesn't
bit-
look like she's actually reading. She's just like in her own world.
He looks at the book and thinks you're actually reading it. He just nods like, good choice.
I think
there's a lot
little
of good
do you-
information in there if you get past the really bad jokes.
Well, little do you guys know, Punsu was actually a Kinku, and all he wrote down was just things he heard other people say. He was not really responsible for jack shit. History
Every now and
remembers
then-
History remembers him as like some great human general, but it was just a Kenku writing down shit he heard military people say.
Are you saying that Punsu is this world's version of Pythagoras, taking credit for something that everyone else did?
I'm not saying he's that, but I'm not saying it either.
I see we're missing a really
Pythagoras,
good.
where'd you figure all this stuff out about triangles? Well, I totally didn't go south and talk to the people who were obsessed with building giant triangles.
No, see, we're missing the really good pwn. It doesn't have to be like some other made up name. It can just be Kinku.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
There we
Chronicles of
go.
Right.
Kinku.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I don't think
That's
that
great.
joke is good enough.
Oh Lord,
No.
we're already off the
puts
rails.
on my I am Knuff shirt.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think to get us back on rails, I think Bazbeer is probably in the temple here. Probably actually writing in his book. Chronicling what has just happened and that's kind of his way of mentally taking stock of, what's been going on and wrapping his own head around it is to write it down.
Okay.
I have a question. I would like to follow you and be like, can I borrow the first couple of pages of that book and memorize it so that you have a second copy of it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, Bazbeer would say, of course, please, please do. And he'll kind of provide you. I think at this point he's probably purchased another big book because the first one was pretty full. So I'll spend, I don't know, like 10, 15 gold on that. And then, because we did just go out shopping. So yeah, he'll just hand you the original book and say, please, memorize all that you can. It would be very wise to have this information in the future.
Yeah, so Saren's gonna take the time to like memorize as many pages as possible because I don't know. I just think it's cool to have a backup.
Yeah. Yeah. We all have this thing. We forget that that Saren can just look at a page has effectively a photographic memory.
Yeah.
He'll like we all tend to forget that. People are like, well, what does this guy do? He kicks down a door, but then he also has a photographic memory and can just like recall shit. Like,
Yeah.
And sometimes he can play dead, but not convincingly.
no, not convincingly at all.
And sometimes he can very convincingly.
That's
Yeah.
not that.
Oh.
That joke was
Hello?
so good it killed the DM.
Yeah.
Damn, it really did.
Yeah. Wow.
Nope. No, I'm
Oh.
here.
There you are. It just you went that and then it just froze for like
Uh,
10 seconds or something.
oh, I see what's going on because I just got a thing up my screen. Apparently, my internet is kind of being weird today, so I have to. So we may be in for an interesting session, which is why it's probably a good idea that I turn a lot of it over to you guys. Um, so yeah, so Saren, you're going and copying a book. Do you have like how does Saren react to like what he saw in Ten for the Revengers, grave at the last battle? Like he saw Avaria's sort of moment of like possession and like all the energy waves and knocking people down and stuff. Like, is has anybody briefed Saren on what's going on, or does Saren have any questions, or is he just kind of like, oh well, whatever happened happened?
I don't.
Well, I don't know if Saren would be concerned because he's kind of like he gathered the information of what happened and might ask people. I mean, he realized he got cured and whatnot.
Yeah.
He would be like want to know information and take notes about what happened.
All right.
have mental notes of what happened and then everything else. Yeah.
I will say something interesting that you get from memorizing some of Basbier's book is that you're getting like Basbier's kind of unfiltered thoughts. It's like half sort of like just like plain white bread like listing and chronicling, but like there are little opinion and inflection moments that like are in there as well that kind of um especially when talking about like Ivaria and Arter, that seem to kind of have like a warmth to them, but also like a trepidation, you know.
Yeah. Um, so, do you have any specific details about what happened, what you know about what happened with Avaria in there that Saren might like come across, but you haven't stated?
Oh yeah, definitely. There is a point in the book that kind of explains in in so many words that like, yeah, Ivaria is a necromancer, and that is a significant problem, but also like it's not her fault. Like he like makes very clear, it feels almost uncharacteristic in the way that it deviates from being this like straightforward explanation to like almost like Basbier kind of being like, yes, this, but also like you have to consider that like she didn't like choose this, and like like she has very little control over it, and like etc etc, you know. He
So there's
views
like
it
a
like a
defensive element.
yeah, like a defensive Avaria. He views it like a curse rather than like a character flaw. You know what I mean?
Okay. Um, yeah. So these are kinds
So
of things Saren would probably pick up on.
Stern would read into that and kind of understand that, knowing what happened when he first got his psionic abilities and what happened to Saren himself, would kind of understand that aspect of, hey, I'm just kind of fell into this and I'm trying to figure it out. Even though I did do training to get mine better, but
Sort of a
that makes
kinship.
sense.
Yeah, sort
Yeah.
of a kinship of unasked for powers. I can see it. That's cool. I like that element.
But yeah, I
Art.
think.
Yeah,
Oh,
go
go
for it.
ahead.
Sorry.
I
Keep
was
going.
just gonna say I think that Basbier is like also writing a report back to the barony, but
Okay.
that's all I need to mention about that.
All right. Arter. What's going on with Arter?
Arthur is probably finishing up his conversation with the Baroness, and then is going to make his way back to wherever the the Cromwell estate is in relation to the castle.
All right. I think it's probably situated on maybe the west side of town.
Yeah, and he walked, so it's probably a fair bit. Some other people get some time to do stuff
All right.
before the fun is over.
So, Arter, there's something maybe you haven't mentioned to anybody yet. But probably whether it's out of concern or for other matters, or specifically withholding until you know what any of it means. But the notes that you got with the final rest that is hanging at your hip, they went missing at some point. You had them. You'd stuffed them in your remember stuffing them in your backpack or whatever as you went out to help the rest of your friends. But when you discovered on the trip back from the grave of the tomb of Tim the Revenger, you discovered that those notes went missing somewhere along the lines of there.
Remind me again what was on the notes.
The notes were had a had were stamped. The image of Tin for the Revenger told you they were notes from the journals of Rivez Black Skull.
Yeah, I think it might even be that Archer simply didn't notice until taking stock of things now, because there was Varia to deal with in the immediate,
Mm.
and then there was
Um,
helping uh, Basbier deal with making sure that Saren was okay. This is
mhm.
really one of the first moments that Archer has had to stop and take stock of everything. And it's
And
probably slightly after he's left talking to the Baroness that he's checking through his bag, notice that, slows down, comes to a stop, looks around, and
and
just
no
gives
one
him
else.
yet another fuck.
And
Oop,
He froze.
he
He's dead.
froze.
No.
The GM's gone. We can do whatever we want. Bazbeer's level
Now
200.
I have taken over. You are all part necromancer now.
Oh no.
No!
I'm not.
I declare PvP. I slit Raziel's throat while he's not here to stop me.
Oh, I think he's
am
back.
I?
Oh,
Yeah. Are we? Are we here?
yes.
Can you hear
Yes,
me?
yes,
Yeah,
Okay,
yes.
good.
Yep.
you were
All
about
right.
to
Yep.
say something after Artur said fuck, and then it cut off immediately.
Well,
Yes. So Archer, anyone that you didn't specifically tell about the notes wouldn't have even known about them because you were inside the tomb when you picked them up and everybody was outside fighting. So unless you specifically told people that those existed, then you're the only one that knows that they were ever there, let alone that they're missing.
yeah,
I can't
Archer
remember
never
if you
got an
told Basby or
opportunity to
not.
tell anybody.
Yeah, I didn't know if you managed to slip it into the conversation with Basby or not, so I just kind of figured to leave that side open. But
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
um,
if
He might have. I honestly did forget just because it had been like a a hot second since that.
right.
But so he
No,
probably did tell Basbier. But also Archer knows that Basbier wouldn't steal something out of his pack without telling him.
mhm.
right.
So these got yoinked by, honestly, Archer is assuming that these got yoinked by Bug Boy.
Could
Did we
be.
get that guy's name? I
I
don't
don't
think we
think
did.
we did.
So yeah, he's just Bug Boy.
Yeah.
I think he referred to himself as Trelland. No, no,
Uh,
no. It was I think Aurora was scouting and heard Levante call him Trelland.
Oh yeah, that's
oh
right.
yeah. Oh,
And
that does make sense because we were like,
and
who?
yeah, because he didn't tell you guys who he was, but I think Aurora was the one who had found out scouting and had said, "Well, here's the you know." Because Levante told him not to forget what his objective was and called him Trelland.
Yeah, I think that Archer would have told Basbier when he had an opportunity. Does not expect that Basbier to be the kind, even for good reason, to take something from someone's pack.
Right.
Basbier took a level in Rogue.
So it gave a fuck, and now is probably making his way to the Cromwell estate with more haste than before.
Okay. All right. Well, it doesn't take you too awful long to get back there, dusting down the road. You uh, Baroness Deltrick promised to, promised to look add to the forewarned a little bit more for you. Even though now Tin for the Revenger himself basically proclaimed you a member of the Forewarned, just because you have the sword now. Um, uh, Either that or he simply assumed whoever picked it up would be one. He would have known that it would have required one of their symbols to get in, or higher level clerics. So he probably left that open to interpretation, I guess. But um, but he did directly say, if you're in here, you're forewarned. At least I hope so. you know, uh, um, the but she also promised to keep an eye on Aurora, while you were keep an eye on Aurora, because you figure whatever, because maybe we're acting as a liaison or something for you. But
Yeah, it's probably something where maybe because the Baroness has more resources to keep track of Aurora and whatever's been going on with Aurora.
yeah,
That was a suggestion made at some point during their conversation.
yeah. And there's all right. So you managed to make your way back to the Cromwell estate. By the way, Callahan, you, in the meantime, have received a message from your mother that you and your friends are expected to attend dinner tonight, before you leave. It's worded very politely and diplomatically, but you pretty much understand it to be a hey, tell your friends they're staying for dinner. like, and you can only imagine that she's probably like interested in the political advantage of knowing people who are important more than anything. But Archer, you managed to make it back.
Sorry, I was muted. I was gonna say when I get that letter, I look over to Avaria, who probably hasn't turned a page in a while, and just like, hope you like Boar.
She like looks at you like what? I don't hate it, and then she like goes back to fake reading her book.
Oh, random bit, but the irony of Rowan posting that I am Knuff hoodie, I'm literally wearing an I am Knuff t-shirt.
Okay. All right.
Nice.
So yeah, so you're yeah, so Archer, you managed to make it back. I'm pretty sure it's easy enough to ask when the guards where each of your crew is at.
And Arthur is specifically asking after Bazbeer.
Mm.
Okay, yeah. You would find out Bazbear is in the temple.
And normally Arthur has enough respect for the homes of the gods to like enter the temple calmly and quietly. But this is like a classic Hunchback of Notre Dame moment where the heavy doors fly open and then there's the like echoing footsteps of someone walking in quickly in
Yeah.
this quiet place.
Oh yeah. Bazbeer definitely looks up at the disturbance and notices you.
And Arthur comes up close, opening up his pack as he does, opens it up to show that there are no notes in there, and
Mhm.
goes, "They're gone."
Bazbeer takes a moment to recognize what happened, and then his face kind of drops a little bit as well, and he says, "When did we last have them?"
When I left the tomb, I dropped my bag when I left so that I could help Bavaria.
Probably looks kind of both ways and says, "Believe we must have a quorum over this."
Something like that. If I had to assume anything, that bug got a hold of them.
Probably kind of scowls and says, We'll mark his name on his grave soon enough."
I thought you were about to say, "We'll mark it in the book."
A book.
They have wronged us.
Yeah. I'm Grombendal, actually. But,
Even
yeah.
better, you could have Grombrindles when he goes and gets the undead. I'll have you in the ground soon enough, pushing up your own tombstones.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Basbeer probably says we must gather the others. Well, we need to debrief.
Let's give them a moment longer to rest. These days have been long, and they're only going to get longer.
Kind of says, Arthur, there's been something I've been meaning to talk to you about.
Arthur gets a guarded, suspicious look as he stands back up.
Those names you mentioned that you heard in the tomb. Onyx Rune. Black Skull. I know these names. They've come to me in visions.
Come to you in what way?
Vagaries. I know that they're important, and they are grave signs of the end. If I were to be betting dwarf, I would bet on the idea that they will become far more relevant than we would care for them to be.
Which makes it worse that one of the things that was stolen was a Black Skull journal, doesn't it?
He nods, says, Aye. These are grim times we live in. You ever get the feeling that we're on the back foot?
Basbear, I don't think we've ever been off the back foot.
Kind of nods and says, Yes, you're right. It's correct.
Let's give them half a bell, something like that. I haven't sat down since we've gotten back, and I'd like at least a moment to eat something.
Aye. Rest, but be ready. We're going to have a very serious conversation here.
I'm gonna find that little. I'm gonna find that little man talking about Fash.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna gut him for doing this to me.
Says, you can worry about gutting when all the violence is over. And he stands up and closes his book. But yeah, I think Basbeer will
That is too good of a line to not end the little scene on that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think Basbeer exits on that.
Cinema.
Yeah.
I think you guys like so you guys just send people out to find the rest of your group, or do you like personally go look for them?
Probably talk to the guards or servants here and basically leave them a message that on the next bell to let everyone know that Arthur wants to speak with them, probably in some central room. He doesn't know the manor.
Yeah, probably
Right.
somewhere with privacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's probably like there is the study, and there is in the if you go looking to find the study, you'll find Callahan and Avaria, obviously.
Mm. Yeah, I
I think
think
that's where he suggests.
Yeah, I think Basbeer probably grabs himself some food beforehand. He's wanting to be ready to go on a moment's notice, so
Yeah, that's the same with Arthur's. Just take a moment to sit down, eat, kind of blank mind.
turn on YouTube while you eat.
Exactly. Although, okay, no, this isn't Ocanther. I bet if we go to Ocanther, they've got one of those things where, oops, you can't access that YouTube video from.
Oh
this
yeah, they've got
from
regional locks in Ocanther.
Yeah, so eventually you all manage to make your way to the study. Those of you who aren't already there.
I was gonna say Saren would come in with the book, be like, "All right, I memorized a couple pages, but you have to take the book back. I can't carry the book around. It's kind of weird. It'd be a violation."
Of course. Thank you,
But
Saren.
I enjoy memorizing it. Your little notes are fun. Anyways, what are we doing?
Talking about something bad that happened because we can't go a day without something bad happening. Just
Then we
sounding very
stay.
tired.
Then we stay out of the north. Let's go south. I don't know.
That is, I agree with you. But
Yeah,
that's what this
Avaria.
is about.
Anybody mentions north, and you just get a shiver.
Hmm.
Like,
That's where
right,
the goddess of murder wants you to go.
and Mario was like at first gunning to go north, and now she's like, "I'm with Saren. Let's go south."
Yeah.
But Archer would explain to everyone that while he was in the tomb, he came across all this stuff. One of them was a journal, and put it in his bag, dropped the bag in order to help fight once he got out of the tomb. And in the intervening time, someone stole that journal, which would be very, very important to get your hands on if you were a bunch of spooky, scary skeletons seeking to send shivers down the world's spine.
Yeah,
So
I
Avaria,
would
go ahead.
like
Sorry.
to. I would like to point out to everybody in this room, if you happen to have reading material that you find that has important information, I should have a chance to read it because I have an eidetic photographic memory ability. So even if you were to lose it in the future, I would have the information and can readily recall it, just as future knowledge, in
Good,
case somebody loses something again. I've
good,
been reading
useful.
his book.
Yeah.
We only had this journal for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. I
Oh,
think that
most of
Basbeer
that time
says.
you were almost dying.
Yeah.
Most of that time you were on death's door. So I don't think you'd have been very helpful.
Yeah.
Avaria,
Right.
at the name of Rivez Blackskull, give me a knowledge religion roll. This is something
Knowledge, religion. Oh
you
yeah, I can do that
specifically probably. This is
right
something
here.
you specifically. Oh yeah. So, uh, Avaria, Rivez Blackskull, and by extension the other disciple, Nivez Rune, were disciples of Jeanatij Blacktooth. They were his most powerful students. Rivez Blackskull, his area of focus tended to be on the corporeal remains and the alteration of corporeal undead. He had a thorough understanding of anatomy, of according to Ibzani, dozens upon dozens, possibly even hundreds of different species of creatures, like detailed knowledge of the anatomy of pretty much almost. If he didn't have knowledge, he was well rumored for his experimentations in
And you
such.
said this is This is Black Skull, right?
This is Black Skull.
So I'd say that out to like as they're talking, I'm like, Arthur, did you say Black Skull?
That was the name I
Oh,
was given.
oh boy. She says, so for what it's worth, Ibzani was a fountain of information on undeath. Um, and she let me know that this guy was a disciple of uh John T. Black Tomb, right? That's his name. Um,
Correct.
and she's like, and she says, and he was uh an expert on corporeal undead, and that anything that we've probably run into is very likely that any corporeal undead, anything that is zombie-like, uh, ghoulish, anything like that, that seems to be extra special, like maybe they burst into swarms of spiders, they probably have his fingerprint on them because his experiments were vast.
Which explains why this man was so interested in getting a hold of his journal.
So that's not great if he has it.
No, it's not.
So it sounds like we've got to hunt him down and take it back.
We don't know where he went, and I don't exactly think we can track a bunch of bug footprints.
Aye, they'd be too old at this point.
Our next...
And then Avaria says, how would you like to, instead of tracking down a bunch of spider footprints, how would you like to go to a place where we know that this group of evil idiots is going to make a play on somebody's life, and also
Fash?
get to punch a little man in the face for putting you in this position.
I was just about to suggest that. For those of you who are unaware, looking to Callahan, I wasn't always the leader of this merry little band, but the person that the Duke put in charge originally is still doing his own thing. And according to Bazbeer's intelligence, which I trust, considering that it comes from gods, his life is at risk and he's fated to die.
Actually, you found that out through Avaria's contact with Jask.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we knew from Bazbeer that Fash is supposed to die.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's true. That is true.
And now we know where he is and where this might happen. And while I don't like to toot my own horn or believe myself above the gods, I think that our next thing should be trying to stop fate itself. That was perfect. That sounded like locking a slide in place. I'm going to kill God!
Yeah.
Or no, I'm here to kill chaos!
Yeah.
Bazbeer puts in his Walkman ears.
Yeah, I think that Bazbeer says, I think our first priority should be saving the life of Mr. Falath. He is a staunch ally. Might have more information than we currently have, or at least advice.
It sounds like we have our.
Go ahead.
It sounds like we have our next goal in mind. We can either leave tonight after dinner or leave first thing in the morning if you know where we're going.
I've also requested that Aurora be left here for now. Aurora is helpful, and I trust her. But whatever's going on and whoever's following her, we don't have the resources to keep our head on that fast a swivel. She's safer here with the Duchess.
Aye, a wise decision.
Callahan nods.
Callahan nods. Yeah, all she did was shoot arrows at skeletons.
Well, he's not going to say it out loud.
Wait,
That's all Callahan got to see her do. You guys got to see
Yeah.
her 1v1 a kill hand and kill it.
That's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
she just went, like, the kill hand was like, yes, join us. And then she went, nah, and shot him in the face.
Wasn't she shot him first, and then didn't she like get it like in the basement? She was like mace to sword with this
Yeah.
guy.
True.
Beat the heck out of him with a mace. That was great.
I have a
Um,
random question. Why are we waiting to leave?
It's late, and my mother has requested us all for dinner.
Oh, free food.
Oh,
All right, I'm down with that.
joy. No, no offense, Cromwell. Me and the nobles don't.
well, your family is not properly nobles, but Arthur may not realize that. He also misstated the Baroness as a Duchess, so
or the Baron as a Duke, rather.
Baron,
the
Baroness, Duchess.
yeah.
Archer would have
Like
gotten
them.
it correct.
Oh, he would
I'm
have
the stoopy one.
okay. But yeah, but yeah, there's like you can. I mean, you might already smell the sense of like cooking going on in the kitchen. Like if you've wandered around the house at some point, the estate. So there's, yeah, yeah. There's a you know, Sethrin Cromwell once uh, wanted you all to stay for dinner and has like has her servants preparing a feast.
Hmm.
Archer will also send off a runner to alert our airship that it needs to be ready to fly out by first light.
That's gonna
Okay.
be a surprise. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
So
you don't know about the airship yet, do you?
you would have heard about it because when it landed, it was a big deal. Like you don't know it's connected to them though.
Right? No,
You
that's what I mean. It's gonna be a surprise when I'm gonna say, like, before we even get to it, first thing in the morning, everyone's gonna wake up and he's like, "I've procured horses for our travel."
right? So yeah, do you guys have anything specific you need to do before like dinner? Or are you? I don't want to mean to cut in if you guys aren't done with your conversation either. So
I think
No, not particularly.
No, I
yeah,
think dinner is good.
yeah.
I wash
Yeah.
my rags before dinner.
I'll wash
they
myself with a rag on a
I
stick.
tell you what, I will check on Raziel because he's not around, and I think he probably is upset that everybody was upset at me.
well, all right. So yeah, I mean, I think we kind of like you guys do whatever you're doing for the time being, and it kind of becomes servant sin for you all when it's dinner time. There's a bell and whatnot,
Hmm.
and um, you all sit down, and as you when you go to sit down, like you all sit down and you're kind of getting ready to dig in, and Seth heard is like, if you'll all hold a moment, we have one more guest joining us. I'm afraid my husband is still out at hunt for a while. And she goes, but we do have a visitor from the south. And as you guys are sitting there, she's like, he'll be joining us presently. Uh, while you guys are kind of sitting there, maybe making small talk or looking at what's on offer for food, um, Avari, you, just because it would probably be you, are the first to notice that when the gentleman order walks in, dressed in very fine, dressed in very businesslike and fine attire, is Jask, and Sethrin Cromwell introduces him as, "This is our associate Cassick from out of Gister. He's
I pick up the knife that I have on like in front of me, and I stab it into the table.
so
As soon as I see his face,
he smiles and takes a short bow and makes a short bow. He's like he goes, a pleasure, I'm certain. He goes,
Yeah.
I've heard so much about all of you. and he
I
kind
think
of
Arthur looks to Ivaria
Yeah, we look at
and
each other.
also to Bazbeer, and I'm assuming they don't mind that we come like with Sarah, like, oh, this is my ceremonial weapon. But
Bazbeer doesn't know Jask.
yeah,
Bazbeer has not seen Jask yet.
how does Final Rest react when he does the Frodo classic and like looks down and draws it just enough to see the steel?
well, he's obviously not undead. He doesn't. It doesn't register.
True,
He
but
doesn't
he's
register
not
as undead.
undead. I just wasn't sure if he was like, he's so undead coded.
He's
He's got so many friends on the other
he,
side.
he he kind of he kind of sits down and he goes he says I think he probably politely says, I understand you are all emissaries from the barony of Malkane, because I happen to be a horse trader. I was in town observing a few wares. My consignment was rather short of stock. The southern breeds in Gister are very well trained, but there's nothing quite like the sturdiness of a northern horse, and particularly those from the barony of Larigan or other northern areas. And he carries on as if he is a horse trader. He does not make a nod or mention unless you all do to where you all would have note of him from. Callahan, you don't recognize him
Yeah.
either. You you've never met this guy in your life. Um, and your family is always making business deals, so it's nothing to you that, oh,
Normal
hey,
dinner.
some merchant that, whatever. But yeah, he takes a seat close to Setherin.
I think Bazbeer obviously recognizes he's traveled with fucking Arthur and Ivaria for so long. At this
Right.
point, he recognizes that there is something very wrong at this table and sits kind of on edge and says, "Well, Mr. What was it again?
Mr. Kasich. Kasich
Kasich.
will do fine.
Well, Mr. Kasich, it is a pleasure to meet you."
He goes, he goes, I assure you the pleasure is all mine. And
Kasich. You've got one of those faces where I feel like I've seen you from somewhere.
I have been told this a number of times. It's just, apparently there's just enough familiarity in there that people see those they recognize, or maybe in passing, or through a business acquaintance. He goes, have you been to Gister? I mean,
No. Have you ever been along the Stolic River?
my business is taken there once or twice. I had some business with, what was it, the Gemfish Trading Consortium, some time ago. There was an unfortunate run-in with that smugglers organization. What were they called? The Wooden Foot? He goes,
Stop it. Stop it. She just yells out. She can't take it anymore. She's like, no, no, we're not going to do this. We're not doing this. You kidnapped me, you insane person.
Oh yeah, Bazbeer upon hearing that stands up and immediately says, "You!" and points his finger at him.
he does
Arthur
not.
more
Yeah.
slowly stands up and looks to Sethrin Cromwell and is like, you just invited a kill hand into your house.
For his part, he doesn't stand up. In fact, he puts his feet up on the table and he goes, well, if we're going to speak in this manner, then perhaps we should be a bit more direct. My apologies, Lady Cromwell. I appear to have lost the element of control over the situation. Socially, anyway. I assure you, there are safeguards in place to protect my life. So perhaps we should have a conversation. One that may require the clearing of the room. Miss
Miss
Cromwell,
Cromwell, you may wish to exit the room. Things might. We might do some interior redecorating.
oh, I
Says
don't
as
think it
he,
will come to anything so drastic, but it would be appreciated for a certain level of discretion. It appears I still have business with these folks.
And
And
whoever suggested that you meet with this person, stop talking to them.
she just looks, she's like, for her part, she looks fairly indignant. She's not sure whether to be like insulted or terrified at this point, but she gathers her composure like, like the true lady that she aspires to be. And she's like, she stands up and she goes, I will have you know that that you have all disrespected House Cromwell. And she goes, you have 5 minutes and I expect every one of you out of my home or I will summon the guards. And I doubt the Baroness will take kindly to an incident like this. And she
Oh,
kind
I'm
of looks
sure.
at Callahan and she's like, she just gives you like a look, like you know what you did, kind of a look, and walks out. Like, and for his part, Jas kind of like puts his hands behind his head and he's like, well, perhaps then we should speak clearly. He goes, first of all, I told you once, Miss Avaria, that I am not who I seem to be to anyone, or at least no one here. She goes, he goes, you're all tough. I'll give you credit for that. Levanti and Racine and others were certain you would die in any number of the encounters they orchestrated for you here in Pothil. He goes, but or before that even, but you've proven quite resilient. I do respect that. He goes, so let me be very, very clear. You've been played the entire time you were here in Pothil. Ambrel Harun has already left Pothil because she is and was always a member of the Kill Hands, a matter I was attempting to investigate. They sent her here to set up the Happy Eaters in your crosshairs. They set you up to do their dirty work for them. Without the Happy Eaters around, then the more Narathos worshipping cult of the Crypt's Eye was able to take all the influence over in sort of the underworld of as sorts around here. They're quite well established. Baroness Deltrick will no doubt have a very difficult task ahead of her and her espionage agencies to root all of them out. They have become quite well ingrained around here. All of the focus was on the Happy Eaters, thanks to you and yours, and my investigation moved forward. I am Jask. That is my name as far as any of you are concerned. But I work for the Countess of Gister, Beatrella. I'm up
How are
here
we to
investigating.
how are we to trust your forked tongue, snake?
Well, for one thing, I haven't killed any of you, despite numerous opportunities to do so. Secondly, you may want to have a friend on the inside of the cult. For example, your friend Ibzani. She looks at Avaria. Not favored within the cult. They work with her. But there are a number of Crypt's Eye kill captains and murder mouse that have suspicion.
Ooh.
Oh,
Uh oh.
Have suspicion, then you froze. If you can hear us, you are frozen.
Yeah.
I'm trying so hard not to laugh at Murder Mouth.
Right?
It's the Big Mouth sequel nobody wanted.
on, damn it.
Oh, there you go.
There he is.
You're back.
There we are.
There we
You
are.
get,
Yeah, suspicions.
he says they have suspicions about her true intentions, her connections. She knows a great deal more about figures of history that they are interested in, like Rivez Blackskull and Nivas Onyxrune. The cult's been digging up information about them, from them, for, well, centuries at this point. They have a great deal more working knowledge about how to utilize a number of the techniques and secrets of Black Tomb's most deadly disciples. But Ibzani, as much as she knows, doesn't fit a clear picture. It's never entirely clear as to her true loyalties. I'm still trying to guess at what's really going on, but as near as I can tell, she doesn't seem to give a whole lot of confirmation that she is indeed a worshipper of Nerathos the Animate. That gives a lot of pause to those in charge of the Crypt's Eye, or at least as deep as I've managed to gather. This is, he's like, what game she's spinning? Anyone's guess, but I can tell you Levanti and Racin don't particularly like her. They have to follow her orders because those above them have ordered it so, and they need her information, what the knowledge she has. And I am fairly certain that she is not entirely human anymore. Perhaps at one time. But those days, I suspect, are long past. So, in short, you don't want to create a bigger incident because you need me. They trust me as much as they can trust anybody, more than anyone that the Baron of Malkane can send anyway. At the very least, they have no solid proof that I represent anything but the crypt's interests.
Despite the
And
fact that you've been talking to me and Avaria every chance that you get.
Oh, they have suspicions, but I cover my tracks just well enough. The secret is never to conceal them entirely, because then you get overconfident. If they have just enough, you stay right on that edge. You stay right on that edge where any move could be the last. And he kind of chuckles at that, and he goes, it also lends credence. If they have reasons to doubt you, they have reason to believe that you wish to prove your innocence, or rather your loyalty. I give them just enough to believe that I'm still loyal and just enough to suspect me. They're all paranoid. They're all gunning for each other's positions, and they all believe the other one is going to kill the other one.
As for
Racin,
me. Oh, go ahead.
Hmm? He says, Racin, in his own accord, may eventually become indeed become a morgue without any outside interference. Levanti, oh, I think she's got designs for a more sophisticated level of undeath. She goes, they all look forward to an after a life of unlife. He goes, he goes, and he says, and I'm still trying to figure out Racin's motivations and backgrounds. He has just enough restraint to be dangerous, but there's something more bloodthirsty about him than most of the other kill hands even. Doesn't talk much unless he's making a threat.
Answer
Yep.
me this.
I want
Go
to say
ahead.
something real quick. During this entire conversation, every time he says something about allying with him, Saren has been laughing. Like,
And he goes,
trying to hide that he's laughing about it, like that's an option for him, but not doing a very well job of it.
he's like,
Oh, I have a
oh no,
interesting question.
I think he probably like gives you a wink, Saren, at some point when you're chuckling at this stuff. Um, like there's something knowing about his wink. Like he's there's something there. That he's like, um, he goes, but yeah, he kind of looks at the rest of you because he looks at you, Basbier, because have tried to speak a couple times. And he's like,
Yeah,
Quick question.
what do you got, Daniel?
So, have I ever met the Earl of Gister in my military academy time?
No, because the Earl and the Count and Countess of Gister, they're known, but like Gister only in the last, only in the last few years has come out of a major like rebellion.
Oh, okay.
Like, and the Countess and the Count were managed to rally the people to their side and sort of legitimize everything and get everything back under like control. There's all kinds of rumors about what started the war, but the generally accepted
No,
idea
that's
that
fine.
you would be aware of was that it was a group of discontented, wealthy merchants started the rebellion. Um,
Yeah,
but
then
you don't know a lot of the details, so.
I'll probably say something like, "Mother be damned! Are we taking his head to the Count of Gister, or Duke, whatever? I can't remember the names. Um, or are we gonna just leave him here?"
He's
Oh
too
no,
Like so
dangerous.
Avaria looks at like Arthur and Basbeer, just wondering what we should do. Like,
he
do you
I
goes,
think
believe any of this?
Basbeer. I think Basbeer has a bit of a leading question that he wants to ask.
yeah.
He'll probably say, "At this point, Jask, to have earned their trust, how many have fallen beneath your blade then?"
Well, my orders haven't been to assassinate or kill anyone yet. I have neglected to back a few of them up when there was an open enough opportunity questions wouldn't be raised. But a direct action at this point, the closest I've come is to killing Jask. I really don't like that, or to killing, sorry, the closest I've come is to killing Rassen. I really don't like that one. Far too willing. He smells bad and he's far too quick to the blade. And he goes and he looks at Avaria and he's like, and you saw that confrontation almost go down.
I have a better question. Who are they
Hmm.
sending to kill Fash?
Rassen himself is personally on his way, but I understand there are agents in place in Nur already. I don't imagine they're having a terribly easy time of it. Your Duke O'Canther, and he looks at Saren, is usually quite efficient with his intelligence operations. They only send the best of the best to Nur. They can't afford to send anyone that's going to be foolish enough to get caught. They did warn Rassen not to go. He does tend to be impulsive at times, but telling that one to fall in line tends to be a bit harder than some of the rest. And as to what to do with me, you needn't worry about that. I still have an investigation to complete. In particular, I'm very interested in what your mentor, Ibzani, what her role is in all of this. She's a piece that doesn't quite fit. And the Hirons, the entire family is exposed as near as I can tell, including the ones down in Gister.
Hmm.
That's why I was sent on this errand in the first place. We heard rumblings about about the Hiren family, and we heard rumblings about them having some connections that were a bit disturbing. The investigation brought me all the way north. He goes, he goes, uh, the connection with the Hirons led me to Ambro, which led me to Ibzani.
You're asking us to swallow an awful lot.
I'm not asking you to swallow anything. I'm giving you information. At the end of this conversation, I'll be leaving, and you'll do with this information whatever you feel is necessary.
I want you to remember.
Obviously, you could tell the cult that I am a double agent or a triple agent or whatever you want us to tell them, but I will spin an exact opposite story about our enemies telling us things to split us apart. I have plans in place. He goes, but I do want you to understand I don't wish you any harm.
Yeah, sure. Sorry.
Hmm.
Continue.
I think Bazbeer probably looks at him and says, "Before you leave, I want you to remember one thing. I know your face, Jask, if that is your name. And if you were to betray us, I will go to the ends of the earth, to every corner, every cave, every miserable little hiding place you might find yourself in, and I will kill you."
He smiles at that and he goes, spoken, and he says this in perfect Ithuran, spoken like a true warrior of the Skull Smashers.
Oh, he looks offended at that.
And he goes,
He's like, "You're speaking my mother tongue to me, you motherfucker!" Like,
Time for you to die.
he goes,
yeah.
he goes, a kind of shrugs. He goes, "It's my job to learn things." Like the rest of you don't understand what he said. He's spoken a language that apparently Basbir understood, but none of the rest of you did.
Keep
And
an
he
eye on
said,
that bug creature, why don't you?
"Oh, as often as I can, though he's not my primary focus, he does fall under the umbrella of my investigation." He goes, "If you he goes, I think he says, if you happen to make your way down to Gister, he goes, he says, and do tell the Bex Cross family and the Countess, if you should run across her, that Jask sends his regards." And he nods and stands up. He says, and he kind of reaches into his belt, and he goes for a minute, and he goes, "Do I need to use a dramatic exit, or are we good?"
Get out.
He kind of nods, and he says, he kind of nods, and he turns and walks out.
And like Avaria picks up like the nearest plate, and just as he like leaves the room, she just tosses it to where he was, knowing that she couldn't kill him, but she wants to so bad.
Hands you his. Sharon hands you another plate, his own plate. Here you go.
Callahan throws his too.
Everybody just-
He's like,
Everyone
he's
else
pissed
is
off for other
throwing
reasons.
plates. and
everybody's doing it.
Everyone's throwing plates as Arthur just like slumps down into his chair, stares at the food, and probably takes a big uncultured bite out of it.
Probably Bazbeer says that was either the wisest or most foolish move that we could have done, letting him leave.
We couldn't kill him.
What if he's telling the truth? Then he really has.
I think
Then
that man is so far down whatever rabbit hole he's gotten himself into that he doesn't know which way is up and what is truth. But what matters is we're already on the back foot and we can't be affording to get ourselves into even more trouble trying to kill someone who already came here, knowing who we are.
He holds more cards than the rest of us. That so much is true.
He knows how to speak a language that only you understand, Bazbeer.
Kind
This
of
man knows
crinkles his...
too much.
Yeah, he crinkles his nose at that, and he says, I worry. There are many causes to worry. He says, kind of losing himself in his own thoughts.
We need to get back on the road. Let's get out of here before someone's mom kicks us out. Oh, official orders. Any food you think you can grab, let's grab it. I'm hungry.
Callahan shrugs. He's like, "Fuck my mom," and just starts loading some food into like a bag.
Hell yeah. Hell
All the
yeah.
dry food he can that won't like go messy or spoil or really fast.
Mm-hmm.
Callahan, something probably does occur to you. You just had a conversation with your mom about two potential like families she wants you to marry into, and the Bex-Cross family was one of them. And Jask just mentioned them by name.
The which one was it?
The Bex-Cross family. The
When was this?
Bex-Cross, Cordelia Bex-Cross was their daughter, and they're the ones that are
Oh yeah, there
a
it is.
lot
Of
richer.
Gister.
They're out of Gister, and they're a bit richer, and their prospects are being raised into a warden status is not as good as the Ranswells in Larigan, but they have considerably more money.
And what was his name again, or how do you spell it actually?
Jask are you talking about Jask?
Yeah, Jask. Jask.
Yep, Jask. Yep.
Okay, just adding it.
Yeah.
No!
Interesting development.
To the balloon ship thingy now? Is it ready? Not ready. Are we
It
leaving?
better
Or are
be.
we
We need to get out of here.
I'm
Exactly.
sure
That
Witty
was
Block
you?
can get it ready within the hour, or within the bell.
Yep. Yeah.
Wait, that was you guys?
Aye.
Yeah, now going to be on it. Hope you don't get seasick.
We're
Airsick.
Airsick.
Arthur just does one of those, like, he's got his back to you guys, he's already leaving, waves his hand back, like, whatever.
Yeah. It probably doesn't take you guys a whole lot of time to get back to the Zeppelin. And Witty Plock is already there, is there, and they are, like, maybe when you get there, they're tinkering in what is sort of like their engine, like, compartment. And you just hear some, like, ratcheting and things like that. Um, and like the door to the like sort of engine area is open. You can kind of see Witty Plock, like the shape of Witty Plock in there as they are adjusting something.
Arthur will give a sharp whistle to get their attention.
Oh yeah, Witty Plock stands up. It's like, oh hey, you're back. I was beginning to wonder. So what's the next stop off? Where are we heading now?
Ner. The sooner the better.
Capital city. He goes, I hope you don't mind if I stay with the airship again. They don't typically like gnomes and he looks at Basbier or dwarves much there. And he goes, but I'll get you there. He goes, so I got the engine tuned up for for a a jump. We can teleport to a location I've been.
So
We can only, but I'll have to, but it'll take me. He goes, but it'll take me a month to it'll take me the better part of a month to adjust it to be able to do that trick again.
Let's save it for now, but that's good information. How quickly can we be off the ground?
He goes, "Oh, as soon as you're all loaded up, we can start the takeoff process."
And how hard can we burn this thing to get there quick as possible? Lives are on the line here.
Well, we can. He says we can if we're not using the jump. Well, we can get there. It won't take as long as it'd take on horseback. Only take. Let me look at the distance here. Ratio that out. Is let's see.
That's only 35 feet.
Yeah, we can get there pretty quick.
Well, hold on.
It's a hop,
Yeah.
skipping away.
Yeah.
Man,
Well, I need to check something here. See, this was stable to 5, so that's 2 weeks on horseback. So for every 5, so for every 5, that would have been 7 weeks on horse. So I'm gonna say it'll take us. Might take us 4, 5 weeks to get to straight to the capital of Nur if we don't stop at Brennod or Stamrag. Of course, stop-offs will cost us a little extra time.
no stops if we can manage.
He goes, he goes, well, I'll
Why?
start setting the course.
I mean, we could get to capital faster if we just teleport there. I don't see why. There's a I don't know. That's just my viewpoint. Where's my seat again? Oh, right there.
I think
Yeah,
it's
there's-
wise to make sure that we keep that in our back pocket just in case.
We don't want to have to wait a month to be able to do it again.
Aye.
Let's see. Wait, hold on. Something
yeah.
here real quick.
I think that Bazbeer will go, well, young Smothwick, off we shall go, and starts kind of getting on the ship.
All right. Uh-huh.
Uh-oh.
I'm fixing something here.
Oh, okay. That's not as uh-oh.
Let me see if it worked. Nope, it didn't. I'll have to fix that later. All right. Anyway, because I was trying to change the way it looked and stuff, or what it
Oh,
was
the
saying.
units?
Yeah, I was trying to change the units, and I was going to be like, all right, one square equals so many days.
Right. Yeah, you'd have to change it to units in the or there might be a custom unit in this version. I forget. They took it away for Jumpgate.
Well, there is. It just didn't save it the way I wanted it to.
Ah, gotcha.
Okay. Well, grid cell distance, custom grid type, directional measurable. It doesn't really. Yeah, it's not doing what I wanted to. I'll have to figure it out later. Anyway, not like I didn't figure out the math in my head, as it were. So, but yeah, you're in for a flight on your way down. So, like, Callahan, this is the first time you've been inside this. Like, you each have like a small cabin with a little bit of spot to store your gear, and there's like a cargo thing where you store like most of the food and other equipment. But there is but yeah, like there is like a sort of like observation deck area where you can sit down, like with some seating and some tables and whatnot. There's a number of printed um, notaries on there, or not even notaries, but printed like newspapers, effectively, like journals and whatnot that are sitting on the tables. Um, Sometimes they get knocked over if there's turbulence and you have to pick them up off the floor.
Yeah, he probably
Uh,
does a little tour around first to get a good memory of the place, the layout at least. And then yeah, he'll sit in the observation deck. Is anyone else sitting in there, or is that where everyone kind of gathers?
I think it's where Bazbeer gathers. He sits there and writes as the sky goes by.
Yeah, he's just at one point going to say, "So, what do we do if the ship just starts falling?"
Pray, my friend.
Brace
Pray.
for impact.
Kiss your ass goodbye.
the leader of the group is just kiss your ass goodbye. Great,
Yeah.
love it. Yeah, so you're like it's an interesting experience. Like those of you who have flown in it before, obviously, are a little bit more used to it. But like you're in the air and you are covering distance. You can see like you're high enough that you don't see like a lot of great detail. Like, but you could see like when you fly over like villages and things like that, you're like when you fly over because you would have to fly over or you fly close enough to Brynod and Stavrag that you can see them from the observation deck. And maybe the architecture here is a little different. Like, so maybe architecture in like the barony of the Malkane and north, like the barony of Larigan and whatnot, would reflect what we would think of as like England, medieval England, or like Ireland. In the way that like the castles and the architecture is built and whatnot. Because a lot of houses made out of wood, a few things made out of stone. The castles made out of stone. And whereas Barony of Deltric, everything was a bit more graceful. The architecture was a bit more graceful and esoteric. The Duchy of Ocanther, all of the architecture, while very beautiful, is also very like architect is it's definitely form over function, or definitely function over form. Like
Yeah,
they have some decorative stuff, but you can tell that the emphasis is very much on we're going to build something that is going to stand for a very, very long time because we just want something that's super sturdy. They are built directly like the engineering level, the level of architecture, like maybe you would notice this in particular, Basbier, but like the engineering of the cities is like from what you can see is way more advanced than what you would see that you've seen in human land so far.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
So
Bazbeer probably takes a moment to admire it.
you like it's what for humans it's pretty good engineering,
Yeah.
from a dwarven eye, hey, they're starting to get it.
Yeah.
They're starting to get how this works.
Yeah,
uh,
we've had great halls that have stood for thousands upon thousands of years. They'll
yeah,
get there eventually.
they'll get there.
yeah, yeah, um but there is like you can see like very clear banners above the cities and whatnot. Like they not just like banners that are there because they're supposed to be, but they're clean. Like like in the barony of Malkane, the banners are displayed proudly, but there's an element of being a bit worn. Like while they're proud of their symbols and stuff, it's not the super highest priority. Like they have other shit to worry about sometimes. Like you can tell these are flags that are taken down. That these are banners that are taken down and washed regularly. Like Saren, you would know that it's more complex than that. They have a stack of these banners for each of these places that like they hoist a new one up every day and take the old one down and wash it. Like they have a rotation of these motherfuckers. Like they the nationalistic pride of the Duchy of Ocanther is such to where like they do not like a blemish at all. Like that's how proud they are. But as you guys, maybe we get like the sort of like montage of this, but as you fly in over Nur, this has to be the greatest human city that any of you have seen up to this point. Like the barony of Deltric, Pothil was very elegant and very well built and felt much more civilized than any place you'd been. This place looks like it's not just beauty, it's not just function, it's more. Like this is very definitely built and laid out in an organized manner to maximize like its central location on the plains to be able to be the hub of trade in the area. Like you can tell it's big. It is a big city and it is bustling with activity um, left and right as you kind of like come down into like maybe you are as soon as you like go to land, and I think Witty Plock probably warns you of this as you go for the descent. And it's like probably says you're gonna want to expect a very formal, very cold greeting when we hit the ground. Uh, Ocanther kind of knows we have these Zeppelins in Gister. They're going to see this and, well, there's no love lost between Gister and Ocanther. You will probably meet a very official but not very warm meeting here. He goes,
So, I want to interject as he's making this statement. If you
yeah,
look at Saren is trying to stand in proper stance, trying to be noble and straighten out the rags that he has to be in pristine laying upon his body. He is getting to the point that he knows he has to be proper at this point as we get closer to Nair. And he's getting very serious at the moment.
yeah. I guess if anybody's paying attention to Sarah, you'd probably notice this difference come over him that he's, getting more, looking a bit more formal and what have you.
I look at him like,
It
Saren,
is.
why are you straightening out your rags?
You
I
almost
just,
look proper.
it's the way I was trained. I get it's important.
I give him a firming pat in the back.
Yeah,
You don't.
you understand what it's like
Yeah,
to go through a system that is designed to train you martial skills.
and I'm in the exact same stance.
Yeah,
I
you
think
you can recognize that in Saren at this point.
Bazbeer is putting on his courtier clothes for this. If there's going to be like a formal like meeting, like he's
Yeah,
definitely going to be courtier closed up.
Yeah,
yeah, I
Archer
think
will wear nicer clothes than his usual.
yeah,
And hate it.
I think when you land, there is, as you're landing, as you looking out the window can see that the windows can see there is a guard contingent on the ground, and most of them have their weapons sort of at the ready. Um, and there's uh, and like there's a number of people standing out. There's a number of people just standing there. There's a couple of folks that look. There is what looks to be like a guard captain standing like up front as you land. And Witty Plock is when he lands, he kind of looks at you guys. He's like, "This one's all yours. I'm not the diplomat." And they are very uncomfortable being here in Nur.
Just
And
keep your
Callahan,
ship and you'll be all right.
At Callahan, because you're a little late on this, Witty Plock is fairly androgynous. You can't really tell if it's a woman dressing to be a man or a man dressing very pretty, but they're somewhat androgynous. So yeah, Witty Plock is like he goes, you don't got to tell me twice, and he kind of or they I say is like are like kind of let you guys take the do your thing.
I guess Archer will go first since Archer's the one in charge.
So as you start to step, Saren kind of unconsciously tries to step forward and then recognizes you and is like, "Oh, right, God, sorry."
I mean, do you want to go with me? We can both go down together and we can both hate it.
Bazbeer will
I'm
be
not
lined up.
I'm not gonna hate it. I'm used to this. I know how it works.
If
I'll
you
be
are
by your side. I'll be by your
uncomfortable with
side.
handling
Hmm.
the nobility and what's to come, it is literally what I'm trained for.
You can
It's been a while since I've been back here.
let's let Saren have this moment. Callahan.
Works for me.
Yeah,
Don't worry,
let's go.
Callahan. You can stand in the back with me.
Yeah. So
Varia's not as depressed as she was before. Thanks, Callahan.
so you manage to you guys step off, and I think I think Saren, as soon as you step off, the guard in charge kind of furrows his eyebrows a little bit, and as soon as you they probably hollow out an order like, in the name of Duke Osprey O'Canther, and he goes, you will all, he says, you will all relinquish your weapons upon entry to the, he goes, to the, you will all relinquish your weapons. And it says, and state your business within O'Canther. We have no current treating with Gister.
Oh, no, no. We're not a part of that area at all. Are we? No, we're not.
We're
He
with
looks at you, he's like, he looks at you,
Mulcahy.
you're with Mulcaine.
And I'm
And
sure we have something to hold up as like a station of office.
oh yeah, you do. You have like you have a pin. Like I think you each have like a pin
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
Archer will
identifies you.
flash his very casually. They can tell that this is not someone who is meant for politicking.
We wish you no
Yeah.
harm and
Just-
only wish for safe passage through your lands.
So there's
halfway through
yeah.
them,
Go ahead.
halfway through everybody trying to find their little things, I'm gonna lift up my shirt a little bit on my arm, and there's gonna be the tattoo of O'Canther on my shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah. The guard nods and he goes, you are known to me. And he kind of like turns and he kind of looks at you, and he looks at you, Bazbeer, with open disgust. Like he's not even bothering to hide it. And he
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of looks at you, Archer, and he goes, and and you're in charge of this group.
Unfortunately.
He goes, and I think when Raziel steps off, there's he cocks an eyebrow, but he doesn't say much else. He goes,
Yeah, Raziel
he,
killed them all.
Yeah.
he looks at him and he looks at him and he's like, we don't have any current business with Baron Malkane. Under what auspices do you come to negotiate with the great Duke O'Canther?
Is there not another member of? Is there not someone within this city named Fash Falash?
He goes, Fash Falath. He goes, he goes, he goes, he goes, not that I am aware of. He goes, he goes, and there's a guard that comes up. That comes by. He's like, you will surrender your weapons
Oh,
while
Bazbear.
you are in the city of Nur.
I expect, like, Archer is very, very slow to relinquish final rest and lets them know this isn't just a weapon. This is a historical artifact.
Yeah, he goes, we'll make sure it's treated with care. And like he
It,
looks like he wants to spit. Like he's just like he doesn't.
it's
He's like
better, or you'll all
he
end up as corpse food by the end of this.
Look, we'll get everybody. Just you'll get your stuff back. I guarantee it. Um, um, we're you haven't heard about the dude at all. His dad home.
he kind of looks at you and he goes. He kind of looks at you. And goes, you will all follow me. There is a guest house you will be staying in while Duke O'Canther decides whether, when, and where, and whether to meet with you. And he goes, you will say. He looks at you, Sarah. He's like, we'll stay put until you receive message. He's like,
Yes, sir.
and like he gives the guards a few shorter orders, and he goes, you see a runner take off like on horseback, clearly sending message ahead, and he's like, you will follow us. And there is a large contingent of guards that fall in beside you. Most of them are split between looking at Bazbeer with disgust and Raziel with something approaching curiosity and definitive caution. Not necessarily outright fear, but caution. Like, and Saren, you've been through their academies. You know that they are trained with a large amount of discipline. It's how you are able to just memorize shit you read. So, like, like any one of these guards could have been trained, and you know that a great many of them probably do have some level in training in psionics. Like, none of them appear to be outright soul knives, but you're fairly certain that there is at least a fair contingent of them that are psychic warriors.
Yeah, I'll just kind of stand up and walk with dignity and follow them and follow
Yeah,
orders type thing, you know?
yeah. I think there's and I think the as you're kind of walking along like the guard captain. Let me see, where was that? Let's see, Brett wrote something down at here. So I had a collection of specific ideas. Where was that? Oh, maybe it's not there. Let's go with I haven't used. Uh, sorry about that. I'm looking through my notes here, trying to find what the entrance where I had. And oh yeah, Captain Woda. You know this guard captain. You know he's a psychic warrior. Saren. Woda, he was maybe he was one of the maybe you who didn't have had some sort of relationship that wasn't always positive. Uh, Psychic warriors and soul knives had some training together due to the fact that they both dally into psionics, but maybe this was somebody that for whatever reason, whether you were academic rivals or personal rivals, or you just one of those people you couldn't get along with. Uh, Captain Woda is um, looks at you and he's like he goes, his first you're as dirty and smelly as a dwarf, and then you bring one to our doorstep. And he just shakes his head. Like he says this basically under his breath to you, Saren. And as he's kind
He
of
just smile and
walking
chuckle.
on.
When he says that, I just smile and chuckle and be like, he may be a dwarf, but he's smarter than you by
and kind of
miles.
he just snorts at that. And he's like, and you're still delusional too. Yeah. And he goes, and like, but otherwise, this is sort of kind of what you would expect it to be. This is a whole lot of not so friendly guards marching you someplace for you to stay as a quote honored guests until such time as they figure out what to do about you or with you.
We would be honored if you would join us. Kind of feel.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, but they lead you to a rather large stone house. I don't guess it's really large. Maybe it's medium sized, stone house that is built there. You recognize the stonework, Saren. This has to be stone mined from the Aberish mountain range, uh, fairly close by, because you can tell you know your your homeland, bits of pieces about your homelands, but you are shown to this house, and Captain Woda looks at you as like, "We'll send for you when the Duke is ready." And he goes, "I would advise you mind your manners in the man's presence. This is a proper lord of true lineage you speak to, not some not some northern mercenary come lucky upon property." And he
We've got it. Yeah, we know. I'll teach them how to talk to the duck.
yeah,
I got this.
he's
Thank you.
to see that you do. Money can buy you lands, but it doesn't buy true nobility. And he and he could, and he kind of walks off, takes his leave. There are guards posted outside and around the house. Like clearly they want to keep an eye on you.
Assume no
After he
Oh, go ahead.
after he leaves, I want to just whole demeanor drops. It's like, holy crud! Oh, well,
What have
we made it.
gotten ourselves into?
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, he's yeah. So you guys are kind of left to this house. The furnishings are fairly, they're nice, but they're not like super. They're nice, but there's like you can still feel the sort of like you're being watched kind of situation. Like,
Yeah, I think Basbier probably says, before we speak of anything, assume no conversation within these walls is private.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Darren, you can
Well,
probably attest to that. They don't even have to have anybody physically here. They have clairvoyants that can watch this shit and probably
That,
do.
I'm gonna say
You
they
would know
probably know
this.
all my secrets anyway, so I'm willing to say whatever. Y'all probably don't know my, but they do. I'm not worried about saying anything. It'll be fun to talk to them. Maybe we'll be fine.
I already feel naked without that sword, and I've barely had it that long.
Yeah, he's like, but you're kind of there's food here, there's places to rest and sleep, and you know, you are you find that the hours drag as you wait, and
have
Callahan,
we Have we
you've
had
dealt
time to
with it.
sleep at all?
Yeah, you slept.
Yeah, it's
You
been
had
like a
time to.
month.
Yeah, you. It's been like several weeks on the ship, so.
Oh wait, okay, cool then. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna chill. Um, I will probably just for um just for my own. I don't have anything to hide, but I don't trust these guys. Like I don't trust the folks in Ocanther. So I'm probably just going to cast undetectable alignment on myself, just for you know safety sake.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Just for
They.
safety's sake.
There's you are like you'd all be like Bazbeer and Saren. You would also both know that necromancy is just as illegal here, or just as regulated here as it is anywhere.
Hmm.
Just the punishments are harsher, like a lot harsher.
Hmm. Good. Good.
So the
Well, not
but
good considering our party, but
yeah,
Good in general.
yeah, yeah.
but Callahan, you recognize what's going on here. Ocanther is going to make you guys wait and sweat before he talks to you. However,
Yeah.
Siren, in a few hours, you do get a message to return to the come to the academy, like the or to actually your messenger come back to base of operations, like back to your superiors.
And as soon as I receive that message, I'm like, yeah, um, you guys chill here. I got things I have to go talk to some people. Um, you're good. We'll be fine. And I go.
Yeah. So you make your way. You're able to make your way to the offices you need to go to. And it's the streets of Nur are familiar, though you haven't been here in a while. Um, give me a spot check.
Everybody.
Just Saren.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, your mind is way too full of like of being back here in Nur, like the nostalgia of your training or bad memories thereof. I don't know which. But you're possessed of thoughts of being back in Nur, like your other, like Green Creek was where you were born and raised, but this is where you were trained, and both of them are home to some extent. Although this has always felt a little like an outside, you felt a little more like an outsider here because they treat you a little bit more like a provincial or something due
Yeah,
to your
Saren's brain.
outside.
The reason it's that way is his brain is thinking about, okay, report. What do I have to report? Oh, probably that. Like he's trying to go through what he's got to say when he gets there. He's too
Yeah.
busy trying to go through what he's got to turn in.
All right. So I think when you get back to back to the offices or whatever, like you are guided through like a number of like different like you have to go through several checkpoints because that's just how it is. They like and they and you finally find yourself in a room uh that has just one chair and one desk, and you are motioned to sit in the chair. Like the person who brought you in here, the functionary, is just like, wait here.
Yeah, I. This is not the first time I've done this. I know what. I got you. Just bring him in so I can finish the report.
So you're waiting there for a little bit, and then the door opens, and you may have been expecting to see one of your teachers or your father or somebody higher up in Ocanther services, but you didn't expect to see the person walking through that you see walking through the door. Duke Osprey Ocanther himself walks in, and you can just immediately feel the psionic power radiating off of him. And like maybe you've seen him once before at graduation, but this is totally different. The man carries a presence about him that like you've heard about, but now you're experiencing. Like this is a guy who gives the impression that if you lie to him, he'll just know it. If you try to, squirm your way through a conversation, or bullshit him, like this is a guy who comes off like his bullshit meter is infallible, and you know for a fact that he's a telepath. So he could easily read your mind if needed to, if he felt like he needed to. There are a lot of people who suspect that his telepathic powers are part of the reason that some of his inner circle are so sycophantically loyal. Um, and you can kind of feel that pull about him. And
Yeah, as
he
soon as
walks.
he walks in, though, I bow to him,
Yeah,
recognizing who it is, and I'm like, "Hi, sir."
this is. He looks at drinks it in for a minute, and then he takes a moment and turns slightly, ever so slightly, and he's like, and he says, "Well, we weren't expecting you to make your way back home so soon. What have you found out about the North? What do you know? And more importantly, the girl that your father tried to hide from us.
Oh,
Your little friend.
I,
Did you ever find out where she's at?"
at the moment, I don't remember. Were any of the messages that I sent here forwarded to him?
Yes, yes, they were forwarded. I wasn't witness to your father's reaction, but we're well aware of your mother's decapitation and demise. This I would offer that the state would pay something towards her funerary rites, but my understanding is that there are already arrangements her kind make anyway.
Yeah, that was completely taken care of. I it was just an information to my dad to let him know what had happened, but they have a certain way that they wanted to do it for funeral purposes. Now, about her, I'm not 100%. Do I know where she's at? I don't think I remember.
No, but you do know that, but you are well aware that she appears to be undead now and working with the cult.
Yeah. I
Something
don't.
that,
Okay, so I'd be like, I saw her once afterwards. After the initial thing we'd had when I was younger, I saw her once more. But she wasn't. I don't know where she went. I don't know where she's at. But she's not 100% herself anymore.
and you do know
Um,
that she did develop powerful psionic telepathic powers.
but do, she has, with the explosion that gave me what I have, she gained stuff too. And she's been corrupted as well.
Corrupted how?
Undead.
Undead. Undead with psionic powers?
Yes.
This hasn't happened in at least 6 centuries. We have kept a lid on psionic power, a general lockdown. These powers are dangerous, and you know this.
I know. I don't know how I got him. I learned that Dad brought some from here to Mom's house, and that's why he had that chest. And that chest exploded with what was in it onto us. That's what gave me and her the abilities. Um, but I don't know what happened after that. And then I came up here to train. You know, why am I? You know this stuff. Um, but I
He
don't know
seems
where
to be
she's at.
taking it all, Ed. Like he seems to be taking it all, Ed, and you realize that he is allowing you to work yourself up into a panic and not saying much. But it at the moment, there's not a lot you can do about this because I mean he clearly holds all the cards here. He's like he's like he takes a moment, he kind of paces around the room, seems to consider this, and he goes, "How much does Mulcaine know? I understand you came here with a contingent from him."
I don't think they know any. Most of the stuff I haven't said anything. I said I knew her, and I told them about the story about the box, I think. So they know that I grew up with her and stuff like that. They know that much. They, I don't think any of them knew that I'm still associated with you, and everything you represent and serving your kingdom. I don't think they have a clue about that at all.
He kind of he goes, "Good. Keep information close to hand. That is as you are trained." He goes, "I expect nothing less." He goes, "About the girl, the tannish girl. Her psionic powers cannot be allowed to fall into the hands of anyone. I want her brought back here and studied. Failing that, I want her eliminated. Neither neither cultists or undead monsters, nor the jumped up mercenaries that claim lordship will be allowed will should be able to get their hands on this." He goes, "You're not to allow it. You either bring her here for our further study or you destroy her."
I,
Those are
I'm I, I might be able to convince her to come here if I can find when I find her. Not if I find her. When I find her. That's a better wording. When I find her, I can attempt to convince her. I won't tell her the full truth of why she needs to come here, but for her to better understand her abilities. I don't She was never trained to use them. They just kind of happen. And maybe that's a good avenue we could use. I don't want to undermine what you have planned at all. I'm just presenting a suggestion.
We would prefer her in our care. That is exactly the primary objective. He goes, "Secondly, what does Mulcaine want that he sends a contingent to treat with me?"
I'm trying to remember, why are we here? Oh, they're trying to find what's his name.
What's his
Bash.
name?
Vash.
Fashfalath.
Yes.
One of only two halfway decent intelligence operatives I've seen Mulcaine employ. He goes, "They're here to find one of Mulcaine's wayward intelligence agents, is he? Tell me about the group, the emissaries that he sends in this direction.
Okay,
Who's
so you
in
want to know about
charge?"
so the whole group, right? Well, at the moment they have the little defensive guy that wanted his sword back, the Archer. He's in charge at the moment. Even though Vasper seems to be kind of more knowledgeable stuff, but Arthur's kind of the front runner of it.
He goes, he goes, he goes, I think he kind of looks at you sternly for a moment, and he goes, I will expect a detailed report on each of these emissaries. You will, he says,
I'm working on total understanding of the dwarf. Um, I'm trying to get full information on the notes that she makes and everything
Oh,
that they do so that you have all that information as well.
oh
he
my
goes,
gosh, this is so
Oh, I
good.
hate him now.
he's like,
Right?
he's,
I'm speechless,
he's like,
honestly.
he goes, I think he looks at you and says, before you leave here, I will expect detailed analysis of as detailed as you can get, analysis of each of your traveling compatriots. Anything you can tell me about what Maul Kane wants and what he's after, that he's sending emissaries abroad, and why is he sending one of his intelligence agents here for them to come looking for them? That's a major question I'd like answered. Why does he have an intelligence agent that is in my territory that he's wishing to return?
Personally, I don't have a clue, but I'm pretty sure Saren knows.
Well, no, none of you were given a direct information on what Fash's mission was.
Oh, okay. So
He's,
I'm not sure why he's here. We just
yeah,
got information that he was going to be here.
I see. He goes, detailed reports and detailed analysis of your traveling companions before you leave back to the guest house. I'd like to go over them before I meet with Mulcane's emissaries. I will consider granting aid in finding this wayward agent for a price if it's as long as he is not working against me directly. And he goes, and he kind of there's like an unspoken threat in that, like that you know that that Ocanther, if he finds that Fash is working against him, will put another marker on the your former commander's life. Uh, but so there's a bit of this where, like, if you want to keep Fash alive, you're gonna have to figure out what you're going to tell them to to assuage the Duke, who tends to be fairly who is not dangerously paranoid to himself, but he is extraordinarily cautious. He's paranoid enough, just enough to spot more threats than most would. Um, yeah, it's not mental illness level of paranoid. It's like, yeah, I'm paying attention. Um, but like he says, he says, as for your father, I have him doing a job for me. He goes, considering his failure in Green Creek with the girl, he goes, he'll need to do a bit to earn back my trust. You'll have to mop up his mess in the meantime. He's like,
Yes, sir.
and he says, I will leave you to the agency's specialists to help you prepare the reports. He goes, don't, he says, you know better than to breathe a word of this meeting to anyone. And
Yes, sir.
uh, and he turns and and he turns and leaves and leave you to, and like maybe there are like specialists that come help you, that come in bringing you like stuff to write with and write on. Um, people that'll ask you specific questions to jog your memory of things you might like remember to put down. Um, But he leaves you to do the paperwork. As for the rest of you, what are you doing while Saren has been summoned?
Like, man, I really hope they're not hurting Saren in there. He's such an innocent and would never do anything wrong.
Yeah, there's
We
no way
would
he could
never
ever
betray
betray
our
us.
trust and say
Never.
things to other people without our knowledge.
Yeah. I think Bazbeer is probably writing in his book, continuing to take notes, completely unwittingly feeding Duco Canther literally everything that we've been through and everything about us.
We need to get our
Oh,
story
man.
straight, because I don't think they're necessarily going to believe us when we say we're here to find someone who's working for another one of the barons. Why is he here? We don't know.
Aye, we've received word that there is danger in these lands. Perhaps a lie is not our way forward.
Do we say where this threat is coming from? Will they even believe us?
Knowing the politics here, they will most likely brush it off as northerner problems.
How long until those northern problems are sticking knives in their backs?
I know. But they... Maybe they do not.
A lot of wasted time here.
Remember our
The
goal.
plan.
We're here to save our compatriot.
That's why I'm willing to put up with this.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, they're just going to make us wait it out. So we need to just. I want to break out, but we'll have to just sit here and wait.
Knowing how they reacted to us being here, especially Bazbeer, there's probably 1,000 armed guards here.
Bazbeer probably chuckles at that and goes,
Oh, yes. Seems that
I-
my brethren have made quite the name for ourselves.
I can't imagine what they'll do if they see me do anything.
It's why you won't. Giving her a very, not being harsh towards her, but a please don't.
yeah.
The last thing we need is getting our asses kicked.
Probably says,
I have the strangest feeling that though we are here to save Fash, that we ourselves have walked into a snake's den.
I knew it was bad here, but I didn't think that it was this bad.
Hmm.
If we were back in Deltric, at least the Duchess made sense. The
Hey,
Baroness.
yeah.
hey! The Baron and the Baroness, both of them, reasonable people who understand threats. This place, perhaps they have been able to rest on their laurels. Seems that there is a air of control of this place. I wonder how the average person feels living in this place.
They
Do you
probably
think they're
can't tell the
allowed to-
difference. They may not have even been outside of
Oh, there we are.
Ocantha.
So,
Real quick before we go,
yeah,
just checking the necklace. Is it still?
the necklace doesn't have a particular pull for you right now. Like, there's just like, other than maybe towards the direction of where they took the final grave off to, but there's nothing directional here. Just now, like
Okay, I
you're
don't have to
getting
worry
the
about them having my loot boxes.
you like you have to like you're getting the fact that like your amulet will give you a pull when you're within a certain radius. Like you're figuring out that there's a range to this thing.
Yeah.
So, um, and Avaria for you, while you can still feel the power and the pull of Nif the Bloody behind you and just sort of permeating you in some ways, the pull isn't as strong as it was when you were in the barony of Deltric. And certainly nothing like it was at the tomb of Timfer the Revenger.
Okay.
So, like you can still feel the influence and the pull, but you can tell that you're farther away from direct concentration of the, sort of like the focus of that. So,
Interesting.
at least for the time being. Uh, so yeah, uh, Saren, after a few hours, you have finished your reports and you are uh, and you manage to get back to it's like late at night when you manage to get back to the townhouse and you guys and um is everybody or is anybody still awake when Saren makes it back?
Oh, Bazbeer.
Yeah, Archer's probably still
Yeah.
awake.
And it is, by the
Callahan's too.
way, a hot summer night right now. Like it is really hot. Um uh like there is a certain amount of breeze. Like they did a good job architecturally here of making sure that the house can have a certain amount of cooling from the way that the vents and the windows are positioned, but it's still a hot summer night. So
How do you handle this contemptible heat?
Mm.
yeah,
Archer,
Basbeer, you've
who is
only recently been struggling with summer because there's no seasons below.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
cool and damp. Like,
Yeah.
Archer, as the fans have come to expect, is shirtless and is like,
of course.
You don't. You just grin and bear it. It's
I
never
find
this hot up north.
that grinning doesn't seem to do anything but make my mouth hot as well.
You ever thought about shaving your... It just gives you a shit-eating grin and goes, thought about shaving your beard?
Pah! I know that you're joking, Mr. Tiller. That would be a fightable offense.
I don't know. I
Let's
always
go to the
found it
book.
comfortable. After a couple of days, you get kind of used to it. I kind of remember this from before. It's comfy.
Yeah, Saren walking in the door saying that.
Yeah.
We walked
Like
in.
Avaria
Hey,
gets up
they
like,
didn't
Saren, are you
kill
okay?
you.
Are you okay? Did they do anything to you? Did they probe you anywhere? She like checks your body.
Good. Who's probably...
Leave him,
Wait, what?
leave him alone, Avaria.
I'm good. I'm tired, but I'm good. How
I mean,
y'all doing?
she did see him fake die once and almost die for real.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
I think Bazbeer probably goes, so?
What did they want? What did they need?
Well, they were just curious why we're here.
Hmm. And what did
Well,
you
Wait.
tell
What
them?
did you tell them?
Bluff?
what's our purpose?
Do we
I was
blow?
like, I
Yeah.
said I don't have a clue. We're looking for somebody, or for oh, what's his name?
Fash.
Fash, yeah.
So I feel like because you are directly lying and somebody was asking about a bluff check,
Yeah.
maybe you should make one, Saren, and opposed by everybody in the room sense
Sense
motive
motive.
check. So
Oh, I hope
Sense
someone
Oh,
here
God.
has sense motive.
Oh, that's my worst skill. Oh well.
it's okay.
Yeah, like
Saren
I'm.
rolled terribly on bluff.
All right, let me see if I can get this sense motive going.
Sense motive? Where is it?
Skills.
I'm too hot.
Yeah.
Oh, mine's
This
Well,
GM rolled.
This is
Baz,
such a terrible skill for me, by the way. So
None of us, I think, have sense motive.
I
Yeah.
have sense motive. It's just my lowest points.
Hmm.
You have points.
so
Yeah.
Saren is a really terrible liar at this point. Most of you get that he's leaving some details out to one degree or another. Archer, maybe you're like the last to notice it. Like you notice it only because you realize everyone else has caught on to something, facial expressions. Callahan, to you it's plain as day. Saren's not telling you everything. Like there, whatever tell that Saren has, you pick up on it immediately, because you're used to dealing with people. Like in the, you had to do a certain amount of politicking in military college. Maybe you had a rivals or something that tried to make you look bad at some point or something. But you're like, huh. But you also, as you pointed out, understand being in the service to some extent too. So you might be able to draw some conclusions there.
Yeah.
But for Basbeer, you're just like, he's not a good liar. And like,
Yeah.
who would miss that? Like, you almost are about to make fun of Archer before he picks it up from your face and whatnot for not getting it.
I
Like,
think Basbeer, instead of that, like, he hears maybe an incongruity in, like,
right.
the way that Saren is explaining things and, like, picks
Yeah.
up on a tick or something. And he's, like, not jumping to any conclusions. He's just confused, like, quietly
Yeah.
confused as to why Saren would, like, lie to us.
Like, Avaria, you're kind of picking up on about what Basbeer's picking up on. And
Yeah, like
Kala, yeah.
I have been lying for a while,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah,
being honest to people, and I'm like, game recognized game, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, does Avaria get any bonuses for being a filthy fucking liar?
Right.
Wow.
Plus 2 circumstance bonus.
Yeah.
Uh,
Charlatan.
yeah. But yeah, it's I don't know how well any of you hide your suspicion or whatnot. So,
It's hard to tell.
but
Arthur already looked uncomfortable, and once he realizes that there's a vibe in the room, he just looks more uncomfortable.
Yeah,
he's
I
like,
feel like there's just like after Saren explains himself, there's just like a silence in the room, like an uncomfortable silence for like 5-10 seconds or something, as everyone just kind of like looks around at each other.
like,
So we're going to
hey,
bed now. We'll probably go to bed. They'll probably come get us in the morning.
Saren, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
Uh-oh.
What?
What aren't you telling us?
I mean, I've lived a long time. There's a lot of things, probably.
No, I mean, no. What are you
Be
not
more
telling us
specific.
about your meeting right now, Saren? You're holding something back.
Oh my god, it's all been a fucking bit. His entire personality's a fucking bit. Oh, we're cooked.
What? No, they just asked about why we're here, and they were curious about. They talked about maybe helping my mom with her burial rites and stuff like that. But I told him that was already. We told them, or I, I, I told them
I mean,
that it was already
I
taken
believe
care
that
of.
part. I believe that part, and I believe that happened. But Saren, when you met me, I was talking with a highfalutin accent, and I dropped it because I was lying. You can't kid a kidder. What are you not telling us?
You can't.
It's
get a
okay.
kidder,
We're
yeah.
all friends here.
But your guys' ears aren't the only ones here.
Basbeer kind of
Shit.
at that kind of notices,
Yeah, like
and he like closes his book very slowly and says, "Well, perhaps it is time to go to bed," he says as he like slowly and suspiciously puts his
Yeah.
book on his back.
yeah, like
Soon we'll
Varia,
find out.
like her eyes widen and she looks around, like, and then she like looks down and shakes her head and like, yeah, maybe I'm more tired than I thought I was. Maybe that was the tiredness speaking. I should get some rest.
The sooner we get all of this figured out and the sooner we get out of here, the better.
Aye. The sooner we save Fash, the better.
Yeah. So, you are, so you all manage to go to bed and get some sleep, unless anybody is like standing watches for whatever reason.
I think Arthur just has a hard time sleeping because Arthur has always slept armed. And
Right?
he can't sleep armed, and he knows that he's being watched.
Yeah, I think that
Arthur
Bazbeard
fucking hates it here.
I think Bazbeard does suggest that we take watches. He's on like kind of his ears are pretty pricked up right now, and he's not suggesting it for practical reasons. He's more suggesting it because Bazbear's a little bit paranoid right now.
Same.
Mhm.
I think Arthur will take first watch.
Bazbear will
Alright.
take the hard one. He'll take second.
Callahan's comfortable, so he'll just take whenever someone wakes him up. Like this
Sure.
is just it's diplomacy bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We wish.
Oh yeah. We wish.
To him, it's just politics.
Yeah, he doesn't understand the gravity of what could possibly be getting leaked to somebody right now.
Yeah.
Or what information could possibly be getting into the wrong hands. And like that's without considering Saren. That's just like being in a room that is probably scryed on.
Right? Like, and Avaria is like terrified because she knows what they will do to her if they know what she is. So she does
Mhm.
not want any information getting out about her.
Yeah.
Listen, if y'all wake me up for a watch, that's okay. But otherwise, I sleep soundly and perfectly fine.
Yeah, I think
I feel like we're not waking you up.
Yeah, I think Bazbear quietly mentions to Arthur that maybe Saren shouldn't take a watch.
And Arthur just gives a small nod.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, I think the night passes, and like, in the morning, like, you guys kind of all manage to get up and whatnot, and the feeling of being watched just persists. The meaning it does. Um, Saren's comfortable with it because he's spent many years here training and knows what that's like. So it's for him, it's a familiar feeling. But for the rest of you, like this is just feels very alien and out of sorts. Um, but in the morning, uh, like Captain Woda makes his way back, and he's like, and he looks at you, and he's like, or he knocks on the door, like, who answers?
Arthur will answer.
And he's like, Arthur Tiller, captain of captain of the emissaries sent to the city of Nur. He goes, you and your entourage, and like maybe he looks around like he's like you can almost sense that he's looking around to see if that dwarf is in view because he just can't get over it.
And as Arthur sees he's doing that, Arthur purposefully locked eyes with this guy like steps fully in front of however far he has the door open so he can't.
Yeah, he kind of he snaps to look at you and he goes, you and your entourage are to meet with Duke Osprey Acanther at the ancestral Ocanther Castle tonight for dinner. He goes, we will send somebody. He says, we will send guards he says, we will send guards to bring you to the castle. In the interim, you are free to explore the marketplace, but no further. This is you will, he says, try to behave yourself. I'm certain that Saren can inform you of any laws around here and keep you from abreast of breaking any laws. I can assure you the penalties are stiff, and diplomatic immunity may only apply so far depending upon the offense. And he goes,
You already have my weapon. You're not going to get me doing anything.
he goes, and he kind of looks at you, and he kind of looks at you, and he's like, I think maybe he says, all the same, I would speak with Saren, with
On what purpose, if I might ask? I'm entitled to a little bit of knowledge about what's going on with my people.
I'm merely going to inform him that he is responsible for your good behavior and your adherence to the laws.
All right. Leans back, is like, Saren, Captain's here. He wants to tell you to tell us to behave.
What, like he behaved in academy? Like there was this one time that
Oh,
we
Arthur's fucking grinning. He's like,
oh,
He
uh-huh.
looked at he look he I think he Captain Woda looks at him and says, I think you understand the penalties if you are lax in your charge with keeping your associates out of trouble. And he goes, see to it they don't break any laws or create any diplomatic incidents. And he kind of and he kind of takes his leave.
kind of do the casual salute to him because he's still a butthead. We'll
Yeah,
be fine.
he's still giving you a dirty look. Like he just doesn't like you. Like for whatever reason. Um but yeah, you are free to wander the marketplace for the day if you so choose.
We already spent our money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speak
Uh,
for yourself, motherfucker.
I think
All right.
yeah. I think Bazbear's gonna stay at home because the more scarce he can make himself, the less terrible judging looks he's going to receive.
Right.
I think Archer
That's
will
fair.
dress in his normal garb, not in his schmoozin garb.
Hmm.
And he'll go around. He wants to give off the air that he's not like hyper paranoid or aware of what's going on. You know,
Oh.
sometimes when you know that something is hunting you, the only way that you can get it to stop is to let it come after you.
Hmm.
Varia will also go out. She doesn't want to be cooped up. She does have, reasonable clothing, and unless you know about her, you can't tell anything about her. So she's good.
Well, Saren, you probably ought to go too, because they expect you to keep an eye on them.
I was
Nah.
thinking, yeah, better. Yeah, I have to. I have to go with you guys because it could be fun. We could see new things. We'd be all right. Yeah.
You guys want to? Those of you who are going out, Callahan, are you staying or are you going?
I'll probably stay behind as well, mainly because he has no plans to shop and he'll keep Asbeer company.
Hmm.
All right.
Yeah,
All right,
I
cool.
can see Bazbear and Callahan becoming pretty good friends just by being in proximity. They're
Yeah,
both lawful characters, I'm pretty sure.
yeah.
Yeah. So, those of you who are going out to the market, first of all, everybody here is very like formal about the way they go about their business. Like they're more casual than the guards. Like there is some level of small talk, but you get that the small talk never, like maybe you kind of get the feeling that the small talk never gets too deep around here. That it remains as sort of like just small talk, like how's the weather, how about that show the play that they had the other day or whatever.
Shall we
My
meet?
nightmare.
Shall we meet after game or after day for cards or whatever
You know,
the line from Dishonored?
Oh yeah.
yeah. So we're they talk about like this, that, and the other, just basic small talk. Does anybody want to does anybody want to try to gather a little information while they're out and
Sure.
Sure.
try to get the
Before
lay of the land?
I love
before we do
rolling
that,
dice. I love gambling.
I want to make a thing that when Saren went out this morning, he rolled up his sleeve completely so that the tattoo is completely visible everywhere he goes.
Okay.
I want to break free.
All right. So Varia, you aren't really. Let's see. Okay, yours was 16, 18, 18. Okay. Well, first of all, have you shown any of these guys, any of your friends, your tattoo yet? Is it the first time they've seen it?
This
Does
We
would
it
have
saw
been
it
the
glow?
when he
first.
was. No, we saw it when you were injured after the fight at the barn.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, like people give you like maybe this is something that like those of you with Saren realize, but people get quieter when he walks by because like their conversation almost feels even more shallow and surface level. Like there are more than a few people who seem to be turning their conversation a different way when they see him. Um, Saren, you're used to this. Given your position, like people in your position are generally kind of feared. Like they don't want to the common folk don't want to be seen as saying anything that you could take back to like to the agency and put in a file that would get them labeled as some kind of malcontent or criminal or anything like that. They're very careful about what they say around you with you when you've got your tattoo displayed. Like, um, like they for the rest of you, like maybe you notice this to some degree or another, but Saren, you definitely notice it and you kind of expected it. Um, the guards definitely glower at you a little bit because there is some tension between like the straight up military and what you do, um, but not like overly much. Like there's it's kind of like that thing where like O'Canter and the way that he has like structures set up, there is a lot of like who's going to outdo who, but it's blended with the caution of I don't want to get declared a traitor. If you think about like the way if you watch Deep Space Nine, the hints at the way the Obsidian Order and Cardassia operated prior to the show, there's a very similar feel to that. They're like, oh, I know who you are, and you could have me become a political prisoner over disliking the color you like, kind of thing. Um, Level of fear. As far as information goes, you all kind of pick up on there is some kind of disease going on in this town, or in the city of Nur. Effectively, um, like religious temples around here are highly regulated, they're taxed, and their messages are sort of like filtered through Osprey O'Canter's propaganda to a large extent, but Osprey doesn't care a lot about the poor, and the poor sector is where this disease is going on, and people are kind of going blind.
Oh
Um,
God, they are fucking weepers. It really is Dishonored.
they're they are going like people in the poorer quadrants seem to be going blind. You don't witness this for yourself, but you hear people talking about it. Uh like in your case, Sarah, you could potentially even gathering information on this level for you could potentially just be you walking up to any citizen and being like, tell me what's going on that would be of interest. And they're likely to tell you something because they know what you are. Um, the For the rest of you, this is probably through conversation. Usually, when people think that Saren has walked far enough away from you to be out of earshot, um, like you notice they're willing to talk to him, but when it comes to talking to you, they don't want to do it in earshot of him. It's probably something you would notice. Uh, but yeah, there is, and Duke O'Canther doesn't care about the poor. He really doesn't. Like everybody else seems to be who isn't there seems to be like the stratification of classes here, like the people who are merchants and laborers are afforded a certain amount of respect and can seem to be relatively they seem to feel relatively safe of crime. Like none of them seem to be showing the same safeguards against crime you'd expect, but they do seem to be like all about I don't want to be any part of anybody's business outside of my own that I don't have to be. Um,
Well, yeah,
there's a very different feel here.
you have the Stotzi walking around.
the but yeah, like you get the impression that the criminal underground, while probably still existent, you know, Duke O'Canther will probably tolerate a certain amount of it, but you get the impression that the Thieves Guilds probably pay kickback to him or his agents in some way to continue operating. Um, you know, uh, and it's not a thing they clearly talk about it, but they do talk a lot about but they are talking about like the disease in the poor quarter, mostly because they're afraid of it spreading to the quarters they live in. Because generally speaking, most of your average merchants and day laborers don't really care much about the poor, the homeless either, and the desperately poor. Um, like maybe a few of the day laborers, like assistants that help in stables and stuff, it's a little closer to their hearts, but because they're closer to it. But like, you know, shopkeepers, people of various business, or higher social stratus don't seem to really care much about it, other than uh, those peasants. They seem to be blaming. And for you, Arthur and Saren, you both pick up on the fact that they're blaming the dwarven barbarians to the east.
Those damn dwarves.
They blame the dwarves for bringing disease in. Like proponents of this theory say that it started in Stamrag because Stamrag is closer to the border with those dirty, filthy dwarves.
Like
And
Glad we didn't bring Bazbeer.
I lean over to Archer. I'm like, man, Poltal really was much better, and they were overrun with undead.
Right. At least there I knew which way to point my sword. Here I don't even have my sword.
yeah,
Wait, buy a new sword, then you can carry it back with you.
No.
yeah, you have to have a specific license to buy. Like you have to be an official citizen to buy a weapon here. Like unless you are like a merchant with a large scale trading deal, but like individuals from out of town, yeah, they're not going to sell you anything like a weapon. Um, you do notice that the populace themselves, none of them are armed either. Only the guards are armed. So
Hmm.
yeah, they have sword control here. Very strict sword control.
I'm just saying that I think they've gone a little too far when all we were asking for was common sense sword laws.
Right.
Sometimes you need a good guy with a sword.
Yeah. Archer is the good guy with a sword.
He is.
Yeah.
Good, bad, he's the guy with the sword.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Saren, this is something you're well aware of. Like, magic is strictly prohibited and regulated. Like, the church's any form of power that doesn't come from psionics is strictly regulated. Anyone with any spark of psionic ability, is immediately fed into the system to learn how to work for the Duke as direct agents or guards or, other functions. So, yeah, he's like as far as it goes, like you're to you it was it was, it felt a little weird at first going back north and seeing people carry swords around. Now you're back here again. It doesn't feel weird. It just feels like, oh yeah, that's right. And then I can carry my weapon because I am a psionic and because I am a part of the system. I was trained. Uh, so,
You're part of the problem.
you're part of the problem.
Yeah, yeah.
You are
So
part of the
We need to
problem.
leave.
I have a question. In
Yeah.
the gathering information of what we do, does anybody happen to mention my dad at all?
No. Because they may, a lot of them probably don't know your name, but they know what you represent. Like they're going off of your tattoos.
I know they may not know my name, but they might know dad's name or heard rumors about what he's dealing with. And I'm just
Uh,
listening to see if anybody says that name. Probably
it
not within
seems
my present with my tattoo out, but just
uh,
maybe.
no. Alcanther seems to have kept a lid on whatever he's got your dad doing, like really tight, like really tight. Um, but but like the few people who would know who he is and what he, what his like position is would be terrified. A, wouldn't know where he's at or what he's doing, and B, if they did, would be terrified to talk about it. Because I mean, he's higher up in the system than you are. So he has a higher status. So like even to you, they'd be like, "Mm,
I want to stop and
yeah,
buy a piece of fruit.
okay, yeah,
Um, and I stop at a vendor
mm-hmm."
and I say, um, "Hello, this is my first time ever here in there."
They're like, "Oh, welcome to the capital." Then he goes, "You don't look like you're from Ocanther. Where do you hail from?"
Oh, I'm from the north,
The north.
by way of Nauset. Can't you tell
Uh,
by my lovely accent?
it's like, well,
Wow.
I'm sorry to hear that. He goes, I hear things up there chaotic, disorderly, full of rampant violence and crime. They tell
I
me
love
they're
this.
pretty uncivilized up there.
Wow, they're
Well,
just racist.
I wouldn't say that it is out of control, but your city does shine a bit more than certain places, I will admit. How much for your wares?
And he's like, well, and he points to like he takes you through like a number of like regular produce and whatnot, and there's a couple of fruits that or vegetables that you haven't seen that are like don't grow that far north. um maybe there's like I wouldn't imagine that like oranges, for example, grow anywhere close to the Death Wall Mountains. Um,
Right.
like I got a shipment of these in from Gister. It wasn't hard. They're going to be fairly expensive. The export import was well he says although the tariffs are a little better under Osprey than it was under Duke O'Cantor than it was they were under his father. But still, they are harsher than his grandfather's. You never can tell with these sorts of things. It'll be 2 gold pieces for each orange, or I could sell you a case of 12 for say 9 gold pieces and 5 silver.
2 gold pieces for one piece of fruit?
Well, it is from
Yes.
Gister. It is from Gister. You should like
I would take one of those apples there.
yeah. It's like the apple is only like 5 copper. It's like
Much more reasonable.
yeah. It's
Uh,
like
I give him. I give him a silver piece.
all right. Yeah,
Um,
pretty grateful.
and uh, and I
Yeah.
say and I say I, I find your city fascinating. Your duke is quite something.
He is the most noble of nobles. I think the ragged count and countess of Gister could hardly compare. And Baron Larrigan, he's of noble blood, but he does no service to the name. And don't get me started on Deltrick and Mulcaine. Not a drop of noble blood. You can purchase land, but nobility is much more pure. The Ocanter line is directly related to the original king of Lazrikaan.
And you say you've been here since his grandfather?
Well, my family has. I have lived here my whole life.
Oh, very
My family
interesting.
has lived here as well.
Very interesting. And what kind, aside from his clearly noble blood, what kind of man does he strike you as?
A powerful man. Oof, one he has a presence about him. You can't help but stand it. You can't help but be in awe of him when you're in his presence. I saw him last year in a parade, a coronation after his father passed away. And he says he was quite grand. You could feel the presence radiating off of him, and no one has negotiated better deals for Ocanther than the Osprey himself.
The art of the deal.
Right?
Hmm.
I'm like, this is getting way too close to home. Way too close to home.
I'm sure there are nice people up north.
and and I've heard a lot of mumbling about dwarves and
Mm.
disease as I've walked through the streets. What is all of that about?
Oh, she their face goes instantly a convulsion of disgust. Dwarves, dirty, nasty barbarians to the northeast. They occasionally raid villages and settlements. One time, one, they the about 80 years ago, a great chieftain led a rather large raid that made its all the way to Stamrag, but the noble defenders there turned those dwarves back after a long and glorious fight. After all, no one can match the power of Ocanther's army. We have powers that are seen nowhere else in these lands.
I've heard. Um, and like I kind of like she like whispers like, "Do you have those secret powers I've heard so much about?"
Oh no, not me. I'm simple. I'm just a simple merchant. Anyone who has the spark of the power of Ocanther's naturally gifts with psionics is recruited or sent off at an early age to the academies.
Oh.
Some become part of the standing military, others the intelligence service. Some go in to work as personal retainers for the most noble of wardens in these lands. And
And these people are respected members of society, correct? Not to be feared or anything like that, right?
why would I fear the people who protect me?
Of course you wouldn't.
Give me a
I
sense motive
stand
here.
right behind.
Yeah,
I'm
give
gonna
me a sense.
step forward. It's like
Well, both of
Like
you
the
give me
fruit.
a
What
sense
you
motive
need?
then.
he's right behind me, isn't he?
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. Both,
Like,
yeah,
uh,
Sarah, they are putting on the proper show here. They clearly they understand that they are not to make not to make noise of discontent, and that they are to like they sit like you can Avari, you can tell they're generally pretty happy to live here. Like they seem to this person seems to feel like their quality of life is well. But when you ask them about being afraid of the wardens and the nobles and the military and things like that, you can tell behind their eyes there's a very healthy dose of fear of that. And you can probably there's probably a reaction to Saren's presence, probably what gives it away.
I'm
Like,
like I like turn around and see Saren standing behind me with his with his face all goofy, and I'm like, oh, I did not see you there. Oh,
yeah,
well, and I turn back to them. I say, oh, well, thank you for the conversation and the apple, of course. And I take a big old bite, and I'm like,
yeah,
I hope to see you again before my visit is over. Thank you very
hmm,
well, shopkeep. Thank you.
yeah, yeah. They bid you a farewell. There is something a bit hurried about it, but also like overly polite. Uh, you know, like there is definitive deference to Saren. That they are uh trying really hard not to show, but you got so used to lying you can pick up on some of this stuff.
Right. I give like Saren a side eye. I don't say anything,
Yeah,
but it's very odd to me to see Saren as anybody who they would be afraid of. Because I've
yeah.
seen Saren like almost die at least 3 times.
Oh
So
yeah.
you say intimidating. That's what you're saying.
You get the impression it's not Saren specifically himself, but what Saren represents. Because Saren
Right.
has psychic power, and they clearly were like, yeah, anybody who's got psychic power is, trained and becomes part of Ocanther's services. So you pretty easy to pick up that whether it's they don't necessarily know Saren personally or probably haven't heard of him, but they see the tattoo and they know what he is, and not gonna they're not gonna step out of line in his presence. Yeah,
Yeah. So like I just kind of like, you know, hang back with Arthur as we walk through the market, eating my apple. And I'm like, and I just kind of lean in. I'm like, you notice how afraid they are of Saren's tattoo?
Are you surprised?
Like, terrified.
Because this is the kind of place where you can't speak openly. Anyone with that tattoo, they might not just have heard you, they might have heard what you were thinking about saying. Here, I think thinking is as much of a crime as anything else.
And also, their oranges are 2 gold. That's insane.
2 gold?
Yeah, you don't pay that much. You don't pay that much in the north. Like,
That's because they probably come from the dirty land.
Yeah.
Let's go.
yeah. Well, you know
Arthur
why.
just gives a scoff at that.
Sarah and you know why. Gister and O'Canter are not friends and have never really been. Like, they have a political relationship that is fraught with. They've gone to war with each other. Like, you know there's a history of anger and distrust. It is no surprise to you that oranges coming from Gister, which are where they'd have to come from, are really expensive. That's nothing new to you. Like, yeah.
I mean, honestly, I tried it once, and oranges from other places are so much better than the ones from down there, anyways.
Then they're not worth 2 gold. What are you talking about? Like,
Yeah. So, all right. Callahan and Basbier, what are you doing back at the house while they're out shopping?
Are there books in this place?
Yeah.
I think that Basbier, because I'm assuming having a book as big as Basbier does, it has a latch on it, right?
Right.
Basbier has firmly latched his book that he's always writing in, and is reading for a change, I think.
Okay. Um, the books
Reasonable.
here, all the books here, like from what you can tell, are very propaganda filled. Like the books
Mm.
about history very definitely have a nationalistic slant. Um, the O'Canter household is never painted as anything but powerful guardians of the land, um, and they're like painted as being the noblest of families, and like there is a whole lot of rah rah. Every place else sucks. O'Canter's the best kind of stuff going on. Like
Yeah,
there's mention of dwarven raids from dwarven barbarians to the northeast, but and dwarves are definitively painted as just nasty, dumb, dirty, diseased creatures that are to be exterminated whenever they cross the borders.
yeah.
Um,
And that really saddens Basbier because the more he learns about the Stoneboar tribe, the more he's like, oh, how like Basbier has a strong pride.
mhm.
Not like an overriding nationalistic pride, but like he has a pride in his people and what they've
Yeah,
accomplished, you know.
yeah,
And he feels he probably says, I understand a unity of purpose, but this place there is a rot in this place, Callahan.
Hmm. I mean, there's quite a few things wrong with O'Canther, but that just might be my own upbringing.
Hmm. I feel we must tread lightly while we are here. This place does not seem to be forgiving of mistakes.
It seems our Scott, what's your character's name? Why is it drawing blank?
Saren.
Yep. It seems our esteemed colleague Saren holds some level of sway here, so
Hmm. Hopefully we can trust him to pull us out of the fire if it ever stokes itself.
that is true.
Yeah.
He's thinking to Avaria, just like, what
Yeah.
kind of fire is gonna start while they're gone?
oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Varia would be very happy that you're thinking about her while she's gone, Callahan.
uh,
All
yeah.
right. So I think does anybody else have anything they want to do before we do sign offs?
No,
Any
I think I'm good.
any conversations or actions or
We're not really in a place where it's safe to have real conversations, so
Eh, well,
I
that's
think-
fair.
I think Bazbeer's good.
All right. All right. Well, I think then, like, maybe our final scene is we get we get um, like a shot of the ground, like there's grass and there's like, and as the camera pans up, we see the graveyard and we hear voices of everybody, sort of like talking, and you hear people hollering about Avaria and whatnot in the background, but you don't see anything more than feet running around, and the camera pans over to a backpack on the ground, and we see a dark figure clad in dark armor and dark cloak creep over while everyone is distracted. Or at least we see the dark boots that we recognize that, the kill hands have worn. Creep over, and we see a hand reach into the bag, pull out the notes, and then slide off silently, and we still hear the rest of the group shouting about Avaria in the background, and some crunching of dead skeletons, or and what have you, and we kind of get that, and then we fade off. um, and let's go ahead and get Players' Choice Award votes and sign-offs. So who wants to go first?
I can go first. Hi ho, friendos. My name is Ron, otherwise known as Dahigami, here today playing Archer Tiller, who, just does not want to be here right now. He regrets anything bad he ever said about the Baroness. Well, he likes the Baroness, but about, like, everything going on in Deltrick. You can also find me
Right.
here every other Saturday in Naples for New Amsterdam 2.0 for 2.0 hour, where you can find me playing Tariq Badubara, who is a bit of an animal, you could say. You can also find me here on Wednesdays, where we are slowly starting to reach the end game, the wrap-up for Seafoam Bay. Come and see what happens now that we've returned the king, who was not actually the king, because the queen was pretending to be the king the whole time, because the king didn't want to be a king, and we got them out of
Did
the
I
soul
miss?
coin. Yeah, the king
Jesus.
was the king in the soul coin was actually the queen, because the king didn't want to be a king. He wanted to keep going having adventures and not be a king. So the queen pretended to be the king.
Oh my. Okay, continue. Sorry.
Yeah. And now we're trying to save Da Seafoam Bay from a bunch of cultists who are trying to take the Starstone Challenge, which would be very bad.
That would be very bad.
It's the last thing you need is a doomsday death cultist becoming a god.
Yeah.
And that is it for me.
All right,
All
who's
right.
next?
I'll go. This is Joe. You call me playing Avaria Kraz. Apparently not the one with the worst secret in the party, apparently. So, so now she is a good, she is the second worst. And yeah, I am not playing any other games on the channel, but you can always check out Half Sisters on Tubi. Thank you very much.
Okay, I figured the worst player then. With all the secrets, gotta go next. So I'm Scott. Psych, whatever. I play Saren, and yeah, this is fun. This has always been fun. I've always liked this game, and there's plans, and we'll see what happens. We don't know. Everything's good. I'm just sharing. Not that important. I'm not in anything else either. And this is fun. Thank you. Bye.
All right, I suppose I can go. Hello, everybody. My name is Mira, also known as Mira Shades GM. And today you caught me playing Bazbeer Foreteller, who, when he learns about Saren's betrayal, will be absolutely devastated. He's the grandpa of the party, and he trusts everyone in the party, which is his downfall at this point now. But yeah, you can also catch me. You can also catch me in Napple 2.0 hour, where I run the game, and the party is going to be running against some interesting opposition next time. It'll be next Saturday. Is when the game will go. 6:30 is when we try and get started streaming. And yeah, it'll come check out the fun I have for my players. But yeah, other than that, you can catch me on the channel at various other places sometimes when stuff is going on. But yeah, that's gonna be me.
All right. We missing anybody?
Was me. I was trying to
There
count. I was
we
like, was that everyone? Yo, it's
Hmm.
your boy Sassy Nasty 69999. Yeah, you can catch me here every Saturday essentially because I'm in both Lands of Lazrikaan and Napple 2.0. Oh, it's magic. I don't know. Other than that, though, that's everything I'm in right now for now. But yeah, that's me. I was
All
fighting my
right.
cat all day.
Fighting your cat. All right.
Classic.
That should bring it back to me, right?
Uh-huh.
Right. Okay. So, all right. Sorry, everybody. We got a late start today. It just kind of was what it was. Um, we try to look professional, but we are all amateurs to some extent. I say that with much love. But today's Player's Choice Award, and I want to ask you guys a question before I announce Player's Choice Award. I've been toying with an idea on what to do about the rewards with Player's Choice. Do you guys want to continue with a small patch of experience points for that? Or would you like the Player's Choice Award winner to get a reroll to be used in their next session?
Ooh,
Re-roll,
interesting.
re-roll, re-roll.
See,
I like reroll.
I usually do reroll for my player's choice.
I like
All right,
reroll.
we'll do reroll. Well, then, Player's Choice Award goes to Saren. Saren gets a reroll next
Oh
session.
God, he's gonna need it.
Fine. Given his rolls this session, probably. Um, yeah, so Saren player's choice for today was Saren, and he was the only one who didn't vote for Saren because everybody else was like, yeah, that was good. So, with that said, I am the Just the King Zerat. You can catch me here every other Saturday, with the exceptions of holidays or special issues where, there's protests or things like that going on. With that, you can catch me here for this game. I am enjoying the hell out of this. I'm having a lot of fun. But with that said, I think that's all we got. So let's get an RIP Posker and get out of here. RIP
Oh,
Posker.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Oscar.
Posker and